What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another stream, Game Week 10 deadline stream. Today we'll be having a look at my team. We'll be having a look at my potential transfers for today. I actually need to make my transfers. I haven't made any of my transfers, and I actually don't know what transfers I'm going to make as well. You might say, well, Harry, you do. I don't think I really do, but we'll get into that. We will also talk about your questions, all of your transfers, everything like that. And hopefully in the build-up to the deadline, we will get some early Spurs team news, fingers crossed, looking at Udogie in particular, who's currently in my starting lineup. So yes, before we go any further, the usual rounds of hello. Say hello in the chat. It's a Friday evening stream for those of you in the UK. So let me know what you're having for dinner. If you're not in the UK, then tell me what you have had, is eating for your dinner this evening. I am having spaghetti bolognese for mine this evening, and I look forward to it. With some peas, I think. How are you all doing? We have 2 hours to the deadline, so hopefully plenty of time to get through everything that we need to today. Jordan is in, Mark is in. Hello to all the members as well. Thank you all very much for joining and supporting the channel. Let me just hide that a second. I need to change this photo to actually the more up-to-date one, but we don't need to do that right now. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Yeah, so who have we got? Mads, we've got Mark, we've got Frederick, we've got Raj, M4, Sam. Spag bowl. Not the peas aren't in the spag bowl. I just need to eat some veg, right? And when you're cooking for yourself, you have what's there. So they will be on the side, and I'll probably eat them and then get them over and done with like a child does with his vegetables. And then I will enjoy my bolognese. GV, Tom, Roger, Kavish, Joseph, Fabio, Bill, David, Muad, Basika, Alexander, Paul. How are you all doing? It is nice to be back. Of course, the streams, as I say, become more and more like the highlight of my week, I have to say. Right, let me fix this up again. So, what are people having? Curry tonight. Oh, butter chicken. I haven't had a curry in ages, actually. Should you use your free hit? Don't use your free hit. We'll get into a quick fire round of questions. So for anyone new to the start of the stream, we'll do a little hello, but then also we'll do a quick fire round of questions to anyone who is in the stream early, because those of you who have subscribed and those of you who turn notifications on as well are the real goats. So send all your questions in now. We'll do 5 minutes of that. Then we'll get into talking about my team, and then we'll get into just the usual bits of all the stream. Will I start Burn over Udogie? So I'm hoping that we hear before the deadline about whether Udogie is going to start. So as much as I want you all to stick around to the end of the stream, I do think it's worth it, because if we hear, for me, Udogie is better than Burn this week, but only if we know that Udogie is going to start. If we don't know Udoggie's going to start, I probably wouldn't take the risk and I'd start Burn. Pizza tonight with pineapple. Right. I think pizza and pineapple is completely acceptable. I understand why people don't like it, but people don't approve of it, but I don't want to insult any Italians in my stream. Thoughts on Ward-Prowse. So those of you with Ward-Prowse in your team, I'm concerned for you on his positioning. In Game Week 9 and Game Week 8, with Souček coming back, Souček is actually playing so advanced, and it is Ward-Prowse who is dropping deeper. Now, I wouldn't sell him for a hit this week. However, if you're sat in your team with Maddison and with James Ward-Prowse in your team, Maddison to Saka and James Ward-Prowse to Gordon, feels a really, really straightforward transfer for me this week. So I'm not a fan of James Ward-Prowse. I wouldn't keep him if you think, oh, it's a good fixture, I'll keep him. If you've got other stuff to do, then fine, like absolutely keep hold of him. But I would be a little bit concerned by him, to be honest. An early stream. It's actually I said about 50 times in this stream. I just did it again. It's actually, well, I mean, it's the usual time, 2 hours before the deadline. King Rolo, thank you for the first super chat of the stream. Very, very welcome. 2 free transfers. What do you do? Doggy to Simicast, Gabriel, and Madison to Diaz. Thinking maybe only the first move and wait. I wouldn't go Diaz. I still think I imagine in your team, if you're going Madison and Diaz, that you don't have Saka. I would probably find a way to do Madison up to Saka. Udogi down or Udogi to one of those two is a very reasonable transfer this week. Peas with spag bowl and pineapple on pizza. That's 2 strikes. One more and you're going to watch some. What other food taste? No, I best not. What's my plan? We'll get to that in a minute. Should you captain Odegaard for the ban? It's not based off his performances recently. Here's my third food opinion for you before we get into the stream. Curry sauce with fish and chips when you get it in England. If you're having gravy, no. Mushy peas, no. Curry sauce, always. That's the northerner in me, though. So, Fati or Matoma? I still think Matoma is a better option. I know Anti Fati's got a couple of returns recently. I know Fati's got a couple of returns recently, but I still do not rate him. I don't rate him nearly as much. I still think Matoma is by far the better player out of the two. So, yeah, sorry, I was just filling around. Right. Northerners only do gravy. Well, it depends where north. Curry sauce all the way. I'm not actually northern. My dad's family are northern. But anyone who knows me will probably tell you that I'm far from northern, but I do like curry sauce. On my off to Chelsea on Wednesday, I'm actually not the least northern human being. Exactly. Anyway, we haven't done any questions, and I said I would. So, Saka or Watkins for captain. So I do have captaincy. I do have Saka just above Watkins. Just Sheffield United are really struggling. Thank you, Nabidip, for the message. Sorry, I butchered your name, but your message was very, very kind. Thank you. People who take time to write nice comments without even a question in it. I appreciate it. And my wildcarding. I wildcarded 2 weeks ago. So if you feel like my team needs a wildcard, I am slightly concerned by that. But I think my team's quite good. Maybe you think it is a wildcard team. But yeah. Almiron or Luis Diaz? I mean, Almiron should start. Luis Diaz is... Those Liverpool attackers, for me, there's too much of a rotation risk there. So, Almiron. Alvarez and Maddison to Watkins and Bowen, or Matoma from -8. You already have Saka, Diaby, Salon, Gordon. Do I think that Alvarez and Maddison... Alvarez and Maddison to Watkins and Bowen is a good move, and it will pay off for me over the next few weeks at some point. So, I probably would do it. It depends if you need the transfers next week to whether you need to do it for a hit this week or not. So... Is the stuff in the top changing? That's what the channel is. The captaincy is not, is it? Let's see. There we go. Udogi or Mbuemo. I'd play Mbuemo. I still would favour the attacker in that. Why not start Burn over Udogi? I'm hoping that we might get some news on Udogi, but I might end up selling him before the deadline as well. Hint, hint. We'll get to that in just a moment. Diaz or Maddison to Saka? Probably Diaz. It's too much going on in that Liverpool front three, especially with the form Darwin is showing, that it makes the other three worse, because I do think Darwin is going to get a good run of starts in the moment. Diaz rested in Europe. Makes me think he starts probably, but I wouldn't be surprised if Darwin keeps his place. And if Darwin's going to keep his place, then Gakpo is also available, I think. Yeah, Gakpo is on the bench. So, yeah, it's quite hard to predict that Liverpool front three because I do think Darwin stays in it. Haaland or Solanke this week? Haaland or Solanke this week? I mean, Haaland. Haaland, definitely. Palmer or Doku to start or go -4 for... I'd probably start Palmer. I quite like Palmer this week. Yeah. I mean, I think there is a slight doubt about his minutes. I know a lot of people in the community are buying him, and I do like him as an option at his price, but if he decides to go with a striker again, like let's say he decides to put Jackson back in, Gallagher as captain, Caicedo and Enzo are all pretty much going to play every game, which then leaves our two wingers. Now, he might decide not to go with Jackson in the next lineup, but it then leaves Sterling, Mudryk, and Palmer for two spots. Unless he goes for one of them up front, which is possible. He could play Palmer there again. The other thing that's possible, the other thing to consider is Nkunku, who sounds like he's going to be back so much earlier than we expected. He'll probably be back after the next international break playing, which again is another bit of concern for us because where's he going to fit in? That means he's definitely going to go with like a striker, which means we're definitely going to go with only two of Mudryk, Sterling, Palmer. So I do want to see a little bit more before I buy him. I do still think he's a good option. Like, I think he's absolutely fine at his price, but like to be a nailed asset, like playing every single game, I don't know if we actually know that yet with Nkunku being back so soon. I think he'll be fine for now, but do I think it's safe to hold off on wildcard till 18? You have a plan to get Simicast? Yeah, if your team looks fine, and you can get Saka, if you can get no Watkins, one player's not worth a wild card. Of course, Watkins is ideal to have in your team, but I wouldn't wild card for Watkins. I wouldn't wild card just for Watkins, to be honest. So yeah, I prefer Game Week 19 to wild. If you haven't played your wild card this week, I honestly think Game Week 19 is the best next time to play it. Play it after the blank game week. Sell your City and Brentford assets going into 18. Wild card in 19 to buy them back. Maddison, Ward-Prowse, and Udogie to Saka, Gordon, and Tsimikas. I probably would do that for a hit. Who scores more points in... The thing is, if you have James Ward-Prowse and Maddison, you're actually not better off, but having Ward-Prowse this week gives you an easy route to go and buy the likes of Maddison because you can free up money easily by selling Ward-Prowse. Who scores more points in the next two, Alvarez or Diaby? Probably Alvarez. I'm not massively far. Like, Diaby's staying for the fixtures, but I would definitely, like, I've seen people wildcarding with Diaby in. I definitely wouldn't do that. Definitely would not have Diaby in a wildcard team. Jonas, thank you for the super chat. Maddison, Neto out. Saka, Adingra, Martinelli, Matoma in. I mean, it probably needs to be the Saka option. I don't have as much faith in Martinelli's minutes as other people do, but I would probably go the Saka route. Crichton, thank you for the super chat. We didn't leave a message, so let me see if I can find one in the chat for you. Bowen and Adingra, Bowen and Palmer, or Gordon and Matoma. Probably Gordon and Matoma. I like Bowen, but I don't think he's worth the sacrifice that you do on the other two transfers. Where are we? Udogie to Gabriel or Trippier to Gabriel? Probably Udogie, because I do Udogie this week. Keep Trippier this week, and then keep him. And then if you need the Trippier money, then you can do that further down the line. Why am I saying to get rid of Maddison? Well, if you can do Maddison to Saka, I would do Maddison to Saka. I think Maddison's a good pick, but if it allows you to get Saka, then I think Saka is a better pick than Maddison. So Maddison's great, and Maddison has been really good for me. So. Can you hear my mouse on the table? I'm not at home today, and it's like a wooden table, and like I can hear my mouse like scraping against it. Like, Maddison's been good. He's not been explosive, but I would rather Saka for their fixtures coming up than Maddison, especially if you've got Son as well. So that's all it is, really. Isn't the Haaland-Alvarez talk too little? I think it's spoken about so much. I feel like all I've seen over the past 2 weeks is, should we sell Haaland? Haaland to Alvarez is a great move. Like, I understand why people are doing it. It frees up 7 million. It's great for the rest of your team, but you then don't have Haaland. You will want Haaland back in game week 16. Now, if you decide that you want to go without him for this run, then fair enough. It doesn't fit my team because I have a pretty high team value that I don't gain very much by selling him. If I was to sell Haaland to Alvarez, yes, I could go and buy Darwin, but then I would have to bench one of my front 8 anyway, and I'm very happy with how my front 8 looks. My front 7 even. Yes, I would probably have Trippier, but that's about the only thing that I feel like I really gain. If you're struggling for team value, then I get it. If you can't get to Son, Salah, Bowen, Watkins, etc., then I understand it. But for now, I'm not going to recommend anyone selling Haaland. I know one was a penalty midweek, but he scored twice again midweek. That would be a 13-pointer in FPL. Diaby, Bowen, or Mitoma can only have one. I mean, if you could afford Bowen, I think he's better than the other two. Richarlison to Adingra / Palmer, Maddison to Saka, Lamptey to Gabriel for -4. Sorry, Richarlison to yeah. Yes, I do all of them. I'd get them done. One of my transfer plans, we'll do that in a minute. What's my team value? We'll get to that in a moment. Gehi or Simicast. If you're buying this week, definitely Simicast because of the fixture. And the Gehi fixture next week, the Palace fixture away at Burnley next week, I'm not so sure of how good it is. We'll do my transfers and team value in just a moment. Udogi to Gabriel or Alvarez to Watkins. If you can do Alvarez to Watkins this week, I would. Am I keeping Udogi? We'll do that in a moment. So since Unai Emery took over at Aston Villa, only Salah and Haaland have more FPL attacking returns than Ollie Watkins. The man is being so consistent. Darwin and Trippier outscore Haaland and Diaby. I mean, it's not, though, because Trippier would have to take the place of one of my defenders. And if I sell Haaland, I'm 100% going Alvarez. Like, I'm not having City attack. James Ward-Prowse to Souček. I think I'd rather take the punt on Adingra or take the punt on Palmer if I was going to one of them. So. Before we go any further, we are, always on the growth train. If there are any of you watching who are new, have just found the channel, we upload at least 3 videos a week. We do a 2-hour deadline stream every single week. And yeah, we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, hopefully before the end of the season. So if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. And if you have already as well, please make sure you like the stream. If you want to support the channel and you already subscribed, that is the best way to do it. So my transfer. So first of all, my team value. I mean, the best way to do it is to take everyone out, because that tells you how much profit you've actually made, or you haven't. Mark, thank you for renewing your membership. How about Maddison and Diaby, Saka and Adingra in? I don't want to sell Diaby before Luton. So I've got 101.4. So I've got 1.4 million more to spend than I did at the start of the season, which is pretty good, to be fair. And then my actual team value, 102.9 with 1 in the bank. But that includes like price rises that you only get half of. So that's why that's not actually that useful. So, my transfer plans for this week. There aren't 85,000 watching. Did I say there are 85,000 watching? No, there are 2,562 of you watching. Thank you all very much for spending a Friday evening with me. Sorry, I was doing some transfer planning. So, I'm just gonna warn you that the transfer plan I'm about to show you includes Harry Maguire. Just going to warn you before that. If it's going to trigger any of you, it includes Harry. Yeah, true. Careful I don't click the wrong button. I just warn you all. My transfer plans includes potentially buying Harry Maguire. Okay? Before we go any further, I feel like I need to put that out there so that when I put him in, no one gets triggered. Right. Is Son really important when you have Maddison? Oh no, here we go. Is Son important if you have Maddison? I would want one of them. I do think Son is a better option, but if your team value is not great and you have Maddison over Son, I would not worry at all. Just got triggered. No. See, here we go. Right, well, now that you've all got that out of your system, here is my team. So I'm going to use Plan FPL just to show you what it looks like. I also used Plan FPL in my most recent video as well. I hope you guys liked that part of the video. I think it was quite useful. I think I'm going to start doing it most weeks now on my team selection, just to show you what I think my plan will look like going forward. That's the plan anyway. I hope it was useful. I got good feedback from it. So my plan actually this week is to sell Maddison, and I won't be buying Saka. It's to buy Matoma for their fixtures, and probably sell Udogie as well, and buy Tsimikas. I'm not certain on it because the Matoma, this route does leave me pretty tight on funds. But where's Tsimikas? Great last video, I appreciate it. Thank you. So that will give me a team that looks like this week. I'll keep Burn first on the bench. I'll use my 2 free transfers this week. Going into game week 11, this is where Harry Maguire comes in. I plan on selling Dan Burn at home to Arsenal, because we also have Gabriel away at Newcastle as well, and bringing in Harry Maguire. Reese always. It's getting in my videos now, Reese. Where's Harry Maguire? There he is. Because there are 3 game weeks that my setup, and a lot of your setups as well, will have difficulty in defence. They are game weeks 11, they are game weeks 13, and they are game week 16. Game week 11, he goes away to Fulham. Game week 13, he is away to Everton. And game week 16, he is at home to Bournemouth. Man United fans in the chat actually let me know, but I've been told that they expect him to keep his place. They expect him to keep his place over Lindelof when he's available and when he's fit at the moment, until Martinez is back, that he's been really good. So yeah, the fixtures after City are actually quite good. He doesn't actually play. He only plays for me in 3 of them. But then you're probably wondering, well, why does that? It's because in game week 12, that leaves me enough money to do Diaby up to Bukayo Saka. So I do Maddison to Saka and Diaby to Matoma, but in a way that allows me to play the fixtures a little bit better. It depends on Ten Hag. I don't Lindelof and Varane play most games even now. But like a lot of United fans think that Lindelof has not been at it recently. The benefit of this is I do see the Manchester United derby lineup at the weekend. I don't have to buy him before that. He'll keep his place because Varane will likely get injured, but United don't get enough clean sheets. It's true, but he's 4.2, and it allows me the front 7 that you've got here. Son, Mitoma, Bowen, Saka, Salah, Watkins, Haaland. Like, I think it's worth it. And I don't even have to play him that much, right? The back 3, he just fills in for a few games based on fixtures. Apart from that, it's Cash, Tsimikas, Gabriel. And this leaves me with 0.1 wiggle room. And so that allows Saka to rise in price. Saka, I got 0.1 in the bank. If Saka rises again, that's fine. The only thing is if Maddison drops and Saka rises, I think that is the issue. Why not Lascelles? Lascelles could work if we get news that Botman is going to... Do I have... No, because if Maddison drops, my selling value doesn't change. My selling value is still 7.8. So the only way I can get priced out is if Saka rises twice between now and the next deadline, or Maddison drops twice between now and the next deadline. If Saka rises twice between now and next Saturday, I mean, if that's gonna get to the case, then I'll just bring him in early. Well, this is it. That front 7 feels like it's worth the sacrifice. Maguire's not going to rise, but Maguire's coming in next week anyway, so if I need to buy Maguire, I just buy Maguire, but he's not going to rise in price. Imagine the Maguire gambit. Swanee knows it. If both Maguire and Saka rise, then I'm priced out. But it's only basically Saka that if Saka has to rise twice between now and next Saturday, I'd be very surprised. Yeah. He is being there. If he does really well tomorrow, let's say he scores twice tomorrow, it's possible, but I just think the chances of it happening are slim. So, which 4.3 forward do I prefer? I mean, probably Osula, because when he's back fit, he might actually get some minutes. Sorry, some of the super chats. Taps. Would I do Cash, Trippier, Udogie? That's your team. Transfer used to get rid of Pickford. Do I take a hit to get Saka, and Alvarez with Nketiah? If you can do Mbeumo to Bowen or Mbeumo to Saka for a hit, I probably would. Hamad, 0.2 million, 2 free transfers. Would I do James Ward-Prowse and Maddison to Saka? And yes. James Ward-Prowse and Maddison to Saka and Gordon is very easy if you have 2 free transfers this week. And Mbeumo and Alvarez to Watkins and Adingra. You're taking a punt on Adingra that I'm not sure I'd be comfortable on taking yet. He only played 60 minutes last night. It was good, but I think I'd probably chance on Palmer first. The 7th and 8th attacker, do I prefer Mitoma and Ubama or Adingra and Nketiah? I wouldn't go Nketiah because you'll get 2 or 3 weeks out of Nketiah, and then it will be Jesus back again, and one of those is Newcastle away as well. Mbeumo to Mitoma Derby worth a -4. The thing is with Mbeumo is you're going to have to sell him anyway, so I probably would sell him to Mitoma. So that's where I'm sat at the moment and what transfers I'm thinking of making at the moment. So that's my team at the moment. So if I did that, I mean, it would be Burn on the bench. In theory, I could do if I really because if I'm buying Tsimikas, I don't want to bench him. So best 5.4 mid under to fund Saka. How much is Hwang Hee-chan still? Hwang Hee-chan is 5.4. Him or Palmer, probably. On wildcard, Archer or Sula. If you can afford Archer, I probably would. Gabriel or Simicast. Gabriel is a better buy, I think, than Simicast, but I already have Gabriel. Stuck between Watkins or Salah captaincy. I do think Watkins will do really well this week. Yeah. I do think Watkins will do really well. Start Bowen or Ferguson. Bowen. Gabriel or Simicast. Yeah, Gabriel. Adingra and Son or Matoma and Maddison. Matoma and Maddison is definitely a better duo. This is what I'm meaning. If going Son means you have to go for like an Adingra to start every week, no. Brandon, go for it. Type it in the chat. 2,900 of you watching and only 300 of you like the stream. If that is you, please do make sure to like. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel as well. Welcome if you are new recently. Thank you all for the support. And if you are old and have been here a long, not old, old supporters, if you're old as well, you are more than welcome. Here to help whoever needs my help or just wants to watch. Thank you all for your support, basically, is what I was trying to say. Do I think Martinelli starts? Yes. Adingra or Palmer? I probably would go Palmer. Palmer or Gordon. If you can afford Gordon, I would go Gordon over Palmer. I think Palmer over Adingra. I think Adingra over Souček. Am I making any transfers? I will do. I haven't yet. Is James Ward-Prowse worth keeping for these fixtures? You don't own Bowen. No, I think Ward-Prowse will be a transfer out relatively soon for a lot of people. But, yeah. His positioning when Souček is back is not great. Matoma or Bowen for the long run? Bowen. If you can get to Bowen, he's a better pick, I think. Maddison to Martinelli. Thoughts? It's just not quite Saka, is it? But probably. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. Look at the game week 13. I know. I posted this. Game week 13 is horrible. Game week 13 is horrible. I actually don't know what I would do. City have Liverpool. Chelsea are away at Newcastle. Spurs play Villa. But guess who has a good fixture, chat? Guess who has a good fixture away at Everton? Yeah? Look who has a good fixture away at Everton that week. As if it was all planned. Harry Maguire. The guy. 14 months and counting. Thank you, Rory, very much for your support. Would recommend membership for Harry's extra content and insight. Little plug. I appreciate it. Yeah, the members only content, and it's only going to get more and more. Brandon, let me find it for you. Should he take a -4? Lamptey to Simicast and Maddison to Saka? Yes. Yes, definitely, Brandon. Do I think Simicast will play this week? Yes, he didn't start in the cup, so yes, I expect him to start this week. Sorry, we got it. Start Porro or Nunes? Nunes. If you've got Nunes, you definitely start him. Harry ASMR. Harry saying Harry Maguire as ASMR into the mic. You never thought you'd see that on this channel, did you? If I knew that at the start, if someone told me at the start of the season that my defense, my team would be, the key assets to afford my team would be Simicast and Harry Maguire, I would have told you you were going crazy. Put out a captaincy poll. Yeah, let's do a captaincy poll. Interesting one this week as well, actually, because there are... I was going to do one, actually, but oh well. Salah? Who is it? Salah, Watkins, Saka, other, probably. This is a really dumb idea to go Haaland and Bueno to Watkins and Salah for a -4. I understand why you'd want to do it. You probably gain points on that this week. It's just making sure you've got a route to go and get him back. But I understand why you'd want to do that this week. Anderson, Newcastle to Chotamenka to just make the 0.1 to do Madison to Saka. I do Udogi. Can you not do Udogi to Tsimikas to free up that 0.1? Can you not do Udogi to Tsimikas and Madison to Saka? Oh. Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah, is Madison to Saka worth a -4 is basically what you're asking. I probably would. Anish, thank you for joining. 2 months, renewing your membership. Diaby to a dinger for game week 10. What are my thoughts? Absolutely not. Keep Diaby. Keep Diaby. Keep Diaby. Order bench, Maguire, Archer, Taylor. Archer, because he might be on penalties. Maguire, Taylor. No, Taylor, Maguire. Where are we? Where are we? Let's see what the captaincy poll's saying quick. 70% of you on Salah. Wow. Then it's Watkins, 20%. Then Saka and other splitting the rest. Interesting. That is more on Watkins than I thought there would be. His ownership is going to be close to 100% this week. His ownership is going to be close to 100% this week. So, where were we? If we get a leak that Udogi is benched, should I take a hit for Tsimikas? Yes. Yes. I mean, I'm planning on selling Udogi. Thanks to you, fantasy is enjoyable and you're winning your winning league this year. And last year you won after being 160 points behind. That's what we do, Brandon. I'm never doing that again. Never doing that again. Chat, don't ever let me do that again on stream. You can't see the poll. Should just be at the top. Best cheap defender for 4.5, Tsimikas. You can't afford cash. Pick one. Powell and Gahey or Dean and Maguire. I mean, Powell and Gahey is much safer. So I'd probably go there. Sup one clip that. Dear. That was low-key cringe, but I take it. I know. I apologise. It's never happening again. That was a one-off, that. Like the day I sang the Darwin Núñez song. Also was a one-off. This is why you can't just... You've got to come into these streams regularly, because you get those moments which you don't get repeated for the rest of the season. Am I doing Madison to Saka tonight? I'm not. I just don't have a route. I don't have the money to get to Saka. There's no route for me to buy Saka this week. I don't see it. If I could do Udogi to Maguire and Madison to Saka, I would, but I don't, so I won't. It doesn't free up enough money. It frees. I think actually if I'd done it last night and worked out that Maguire was an option, I may have done it last night, but yep. Hang on. He's 4.6. No, it leaves me 0.2 short. That's fine then. At least I don't feel bad. At least I don't feel bad because it leaves me 0.2 short. And that's fine. So it's a good thing. Diaby to Neto, Madison to Saka. I still prefer Gordon over Neto, but yes. Tor, thank you for your first super chat. You didn't leave a message, so just leave one in the chat and I'll get to it. 8-point hit. Udogi, Anderson, Alvarez, and Nunes out. Nunes out. With João Pedro and Cunha coming in. Saka is not worth that. Absolutely not. No, Colin. Your Saka is not worth taking Alvarez and Nunes out for a -8. Nope. Opinions on Gordon, probably my favourite, sub 6 mil. He plays for the team that's going to score the most goals, so. Any transfers yet? No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. This isn't my team. Oh, I keep doing it on the wrong tab. Keep doing it on the wrong tab. Right, that's my transfers tab there. Not sure if you missed my question again, Scott. Let me find it for you. Scott, send it again. Oh, I need to slow the chat down. Pick Burn and Cash, or Cash and Pau Torres. Probably Burn. Probably Burn. Any news on Isaac? He's ruled out for this week, I'm pretty sure. So Maddison and Diaby to Saka and Douglas. I don't understand the Douglas to Luiz hype. I know he scored twice last week, but and he's a reasonable price. Okay, I kind of get the pick, but I don't expect loads of returns from him. But if that's what you can get to, I think I'd probably just go Palmer. Andreas, thank you for joining Top Tier. Send me a message on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll get you added to the group chats and everything, and all the chats with me after this as well. And we'll get helping you with your team every single week. Limehouse, thank you for yours. Wanted your opinion. Did Matoma and Saka in for Son and Almiron out? But you did it before Murphy injury. Like, I don't think it's a bad move. Like, you've definitely got two assets that I probably prefer to the assets you've taken out. It is a transfer that could go like against you this week or in any week, but I do think they're decent enough moves, Scott. I wouldn't worry loads about that. 2 free transfers. Saka and Maguire in from Maddison, Udogi, and start Taylor game week 10. Or Simicast and Gabriel. I mean, I probably would do the first option and just play Taylor. They are playing Bournemouth, who have struggled to score goals this season. Alvarez and Morris out. Watkins and Archer in. Alvarez and Morris out. Watkins and Archer in. Yes, I would do that. You need to move away from Charleston's game. I wouldn't buy Diaby now. I feel like it's too late to buy Diaby. I know they have a good fixture this week, but it's not. Foster at Burnley. Yes, I think he's 5 mil. Is not bad. He seems their main goal threat. I wouldn't expect loads from him, but he's definitely a decent enough shout. 1 free transfer. Maddison to Saka, Diaby to Bowen, or Udogi to... If you can do Maddison to Saka, it's a better transfer than any of the others that you might put in a list. Watkins for captaincy. He's definitely a good captaincy option. I'm going to captain Salah this week. How do I make plans if you have Alvarez? I mean, you could go Alvarez and Chance Ferguson, for example. There are a few other cheap forwards. Or you change formation and you go 3-5-2. Which is the reason I ended up selling Alvarez to go Diaby. Now, it hasn't paid off. Alvarez has scored more points. But I am in a place that makes my team more flexible. Palmer or Adingra, I'd probably go Palmer. How do I make my plans if I have Solanke? You do Solanke to Gordon. You probably go Gordon. It's like if you have James or Prowse where I have Bowen, you just go Gordon. I think probably. those of you in the chat having a go at me for not answering your questions, promise you, I'm doing my best. I do not deliberately miss anyone's questions. What time is it? Right, we're going to put the slow mode up, but we're also going to put it on subscriber only mode. You literally have to subscribe for 1 second to start using the chat, but I cannot keep up with what is going on today. Why are people coming off Alvarez? People are coming off Alvarez because they might want Watkins and Haaland. Well, you might want Watkins, who I still think is a better pick than Alvarez. And they might be going 3-5-2. And Alvarez to a cheaper midfielder frees up money. You're doing a great job. Cash and the sales, thank you. Or Burn and Gahey. Probably cash and the sales, but it is short term. If it's going to put you in a place that is not going to allow you to do it, if it's going to be an issue long term, then go for the more nailed option. Hamad, I do apologise. Maddison, Bowen to Saka, Matoma. Yes. I mean, you're selling Bowen before his nice run of fixtures, but I do want Saka, so yes, I would do it. If it's the only way to free up the money. Is James Ward-Prowse a must-sell this week? He's not a must-sell. If you have a luxury move or you need money, he's probably one that I would do. My hair looks so shiny. It's because I have a light above me. Trippier to Maguire, Maddison to Saka. Well, if I'd advise selling Trippier to Maguire, I think I might become a lifetime long meme. But if you're going to need to sell him anyway, and it's the only way to do it, then yes. I'm not sure I wouldn't do Trippier and who was the other defender that came in? Tsimikas. I mean, I don't have him, so yeah. Am I going to come off Haaland soon? No. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Am I going to come off Haaland soon? Like, no, I'm not. Like, if I don't sell him this week, I'm not going to sell him for game week 11 for sure. And then it's a 3 game week period that it's bad for. And 2 of them are at home. And then I'm going to want him back from like game week 15, game week 16 at the latest. So no, because that's then too short a window for me to sell him and buy him back again. Because then that's like 2 transfers in like 4 weeks. Plus I'm wanting to reinvest that money elsewhere. So that is reinvest money elsewhere, take money back out of elsewhere, sell Haaland, buy Haaland. That's 4 transfers minimum to take him out and bring him back in again in what is 6 weeks. But I know I'm going to want him in Bournemouth. So that is then 4 weeks. So it's definitely, he's not leaving my team. Adingra and Bowen or Palmer and Matoma. I mean, Bowen is better than Matoma. So Bowen is better than Matoma. Thank you all again for spending your Friday evening with me. If you haven't subscribed or liked as well, that would be much appreciated. I'm going to keep Haaland till the end, and hopefully one day he scores some points, but fingers crossed, but he's not going anywhere. It's just like, it doesn't make sense to my team. If you're selling him, I was going to say you got to sell him this week, but he is playing United away and then Bournemouth at home, so I'm not sure I would do it this week. Why not Watkins instead of Salah? Watkins is so close. The top 3 captaincy shouts are really, really close for me this week. You missed your super chat. Love the stream. Sorry. There were a few at the same time. Watkins with -4 for Watkins with Alvarez and Haaland 3-4-3 instead of Saka. I've actually been asked this a lot. Like, Watkins versus Saka, who is more important this week? I would probably go Watkins because of the fixture next week as well. Whereas Saka goes away to Newcastle. What did the poll say? Oh, sorry, I accidentally pinned someone's. I don't know what happened to the poll. Did the poll end? Ashraf, thank you for joining mid-tier content. Send me a message on Instagram or Twitter and I will get you added. For those unaware what the content is, you get a members-only stream every single week, and then you get a members only video. So this was team update. This was a game week review. Like hot topic questions, that sort of stuff. Really tempted by Watkins captain. Watkins, Saka, Salah are all really good picks this week. I don't think I can pick between them. Matoma or Maddison? Yeah, I know Salah won it. It was like 70, 20, 10. But I don't remember ending it. The captaincy, I am on Salah because he's on penalties and Watkins isn't. Saka, we don't know if he's on penalties. And Saka can ghost in games. So for me, it is Salah just because of his high level of involvement for them. You have Maddison, Bowen, Salah, and Son, and Anderson. Do I transfer Maddison this week to Matoma or Saka? If you can do Maddison to Saka, if anyone can do Maddison to Saka, I would advise it. Thoughts on Adingra? I think he's good for his price. I still don't know how nailed he is. I still think Buonanotte, who did well for them at the end of last season, could do well for them again at the beginning of this season. So I still think Adingra is first choice. Is he nailed and will he start after starting in Europe? I don't know. I can answer that with any confidence. For Saka, do I sell Diaby or Gordon or Adingra? Sorry. Jordan, if you want to upgrade, you basically just go to the YouTube membership and there should be an option to change your level. But if not, then send me a message. I can't do anything. You basically just have to go into the same section and change it. But for Saka, do you sell Diaby or Gordon or Adingra? Oh, Diaby for Gordon or Adingra. Gordon, if you can afford him, definitely better than Adingra. Maddison, Neto out, Matoma and Bowen from -4. Yes. Yeah, Bowen in and Matoma in is a very nice couple of transfers this week. It's nice to see there's lots going on. There's a lot of different transfers this week. Any team news? We have nothing yet. We are just over an hour to go until the deadline. Owning no Arsenal is a little bit of a concern this week, I have to admit. I don't know how I get an Arsenal attacker in, though. I just don't see a route to get Saka. If I do Maddison to Saka, I have to sell Diaby. So my combination this week is Matoma and Diaby. Matoma and Diaby versus Saka and Gordon this week. Matoma and Diaby or Saka and Gordon. Let me know if you... Yeah, what would you think? Saka and Gordon or Matoma and Diaby for just this week, right? Matoma has Fulham at home. Diaby has Luton at home. Saka, of course, Sheffield United. And Gordon goes away to Wolves. That is the only way that I could free up the money. Diaby's not worth it. No, I agree, but I'm got to keep him for Luton. And then the only other way I could do it is for a hit. Matoma and Diaby, Saka and Gordon, Matoma and Diaby. Saka and Gordon easily. Matoma and Diaby. It's Saka. It's splitting the chat. One free transfer. Let me put it as a poll. Best combination. One free transfer. Should I do Maddison Saka? Yes. I'd rather that than a doggy to Gabriel. Saka and Gordon, Matoma plus Diaby. Diary, Diaby. Matoma, Diaby. Let's see what you say. I mean, it's for this week only, the poll. Poll is for this week only. I didn't specify that. Let me start again. Start a poll. Best for game week 10 only. Matoma plus Diaby. Saka plus Gordon. Is Simicast for -4 rather than play Burn? No, Simicast defensive transfers are not really worth a hit, especially when you have a Newcastle defender on your bench. Just sell Son to Saka, please. I don't want to be the only one in this much pain this weekend. I'm not selling Son to get Saka. Brennan Johnson and Basuma start, apparently. Don't think that's right. And I don't know why I just read it out as well. Please don't put stuff in my chat. If you see anything on Twitter that you think is reliable, please tag myself in it. No. Nuts. They clipped it. That's so bad. And the audio is, that's what we do. Oh dear. Martinelli or Saka? I still would prefer Saka. Like, yeah, he's wheeled out every game, whether he's limping or not. Salah captain, yeah, I'm not going to change my captain now. I do like the others, and I understand why if you want to go against him, but I'm not going to change it now. Good luck for the week. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you. You too. The poll's pretty close. 57% are going Saka, and then 43% are going Matoma. But the ownership is more skewed towards the two that are winning the poll. So naturally, people would vote for who they own in the first place. So I think that poll is pretty reasonable. Is Maguire nailed? I want to see who starts the Manchester derby because yeah, because if he's trusted to start the Manchester derby, then I think it's Maguire. If Lindelof is trusted to start that game, then I think it's Lindelof. So if you can wait, I mean, you don't need Maguire this week anyway. I understand you might need to free up the money, but I'd wait. Transfers are not done this week. Nope. One of my transfer plans, I'm deciding if there's a way to get Saka. Maddison to Saka would mean I basically have to sell Diaby to Gordon this week, which I don't really want to do. Is Trippier worth a -4 this week? Have Shah cash, you doggy? No. A lot of people are selling him this week, so no, I wouldn't do that. Is Douglas Luiz worth a shot for the short term? I mean, like I don't love the Douglas Luiz pick. He's on a lot of set pieces. He's on penalties as well. Like, I understand it, but it's not a pick that I'm massively recommending. If you want him short term, then fine. We are 300 subscribers away from our goal for today. So if you are not subscribed, then help me get to 86k for the end of the stream. I don't know whether people are FIFA players or not in the chat or in the stream, but there is a new promo coming out on FIFA today, and I have some packs. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll open them on stream, but we'll see. Only after the deadline, don't worry. I'm not going to spend your precious time. When will I make my transfers? Hopefully when we get some Spurs news. Hopefully when we get some Spurs news. But yeah, I might do some packs on stream. Chelsea, thank you for joining as a base tier member. EAFC, sorry. Darwin to start, do we know? We don't know anything. It's a Sunday game. We won't get any of that. Do them now. No, the promo doesn't come out until 6, so I'm not doing them now. First time live stream, Saka, Cash, Adingra, Martinelli, Matoma, Pau, Torres. Saka, Cash, Adingra, Matoma. Yeah, Saka and Cash. You have 12 save packs, including 100k pack. I have one of them as well. I play Football Manager. I've never played Football Manager. Does that surprise people that actually it's a game I've never played? This is what I should do. Go on, Harry. Hang on. Right. I've got everything sorted now. Why don't I sell Bowen to Matoma? Bowen has good features, but Matoma... I'm planning on doing Maddison to Matoma, but it does mean I don't get Saka. But then Saka does go away to Newcastle next week. But then he is up against Dan Burn. Aside with Dan Burn and Lascelles up against Saka, does that fill me with loads of confidence? Not massively. I'm too young for Football Manager. I mean, there are new ones out every year, aren't they? Should I start Alvarez or Gordon? I mean, probably Gordon. If you've got him, definitely, yeah. Gordon's one of those players I just don't know if I'm going to own because I've got good team value, but I feel like that's actually a mistake because he's a really good pick. If I could go to Saka from Maddison, I 100% would do it. If I could do it with another transfer that I didn't hate, then I would also do it. I don't like Diaby to Gordon this week. I don't like Diaby to Gordon this week. What are people saying about the poll? The poll is just about winning Saka and Gordon, but it's not massively in it. One hour to go until the deadline. Where's that video gone? One sec. Right. Bailey played well in Europe. Maybe Diaby doesn't start. It's very possible they start together. Just because one starts doesn't mean the other doesn't. Neto to Gordon or Palmer. Gordon. I know Neto has a difficult fixture this week, but the fixtures from next week for him are pretty good. Well, Prowse alternative, Gordon. I feel like I've said his name so many times in this stream. But yes, Probably Gordon, 5-7 now. He did go up in price last night, but I do like him. The fixtures are good. The only thing is he plays Arsenal next week, but is a doggy available? We don't know. We don't know. We don't even know if he's... Yeah, we don't know anything on a doggy. Are people asking for... I wouldn't do a doggy to a Stupenham because we don't know anything on him yet either. And like we don't actually know time frame on him. Like he might not be back next week either. But that could be okay because you don't actually need to do doggy next week. But his price might continue to fall. Going to bed knowing I made Harry become another meme after having me good advice. Not sure how you feel. These things happen. What do I do with Bernardo Silva? He's not an FPL asset for me. I think he's an incredible footballer, but not an FPL asset. Use wildcard, but you didn't get Salah. For me, he was kind of the reason that I wildcarded. So, but captain Watkins or too risky. I like Watkins as a captain. Watkins, as it says there, Watkins, Salah, Saka are the best three for me. Would I do Julian Alvarez to Mitoma? I mean, for 2 transfers, I'm not sure I would. I'm not sure that's worth 2 moves, Beardy, if I'm honest. Boscha, thank you for joining as a GOAT tier. You also get all the members-only content. You also get your own group chat with me to get your team support every single week, and you get a little free gift as well. So I will get that posted out once I have your address, but don't put it in the chat. Send it to me privately. Madison to Mitoma and Bowen to Saka. Am I mad? You're not the first person to ask that, and I actually said I think I'd recommend... I would consider it. I mean, I could do it, but... The thing is, right, a lot of these transfers I'm saying I probably would consider that is... I have a route to Saka which allows me to keep all the players I want. It just means I buy Saka after Newcastle. But I'm okay with that, I think. Because the thing with the poll that I did is I also get the Game Week 11 fixtures as well. Because in Game Week 11, the Saka-Gordon move, right? I know that you all voted Saka and Gordon being better than Mitoma Diaby, but next week you have Saka and Gordon. They play against each other in a game that is very, very difficult to call, whereas you have Brighton away at Everton and you have Villa away at Forest. That's what I like. You only answer a few people by... Okay, again, to those, like, there are so many questions. I literally do my best to answer as many of them as I can, which is why I stream for 2 hours as well. I will do for longer as well if it means I get more questions answered as well. So hopefully I get to enough topics that helps everyone with the questions that they've got, but I can't answer every single question in the chat in the time that I have. But I really do my best, and I do not ignore anyone on purpose. Already Son to Saka punt on Watkins for captaincy. I'd probably prefer Saka over... It's so close between all three. But I think I've got Saka above Watkins at the moment. Just for the potential of penalties. Nothing on Spurs yet. No Spurs team news yet. No. I'm keeping an eye out. Nothing yet. I'm scrolling. Is it worth saving 0.2 on the Archer spot? I'd probably, because I think there might be some times that you want him. I probably wouldn't, unless you're needing 0.2 and you have no other place to find it, then fine. But I would probably still want to go with him. Start Udogie or Lascelles. Let's wait and see if we get anything on Udogie first. But if we get news, then Udogie probably. So yeah, the fixtures next week is why I'm not certain that the Saka route is better. Just seen. I don't have anything reliable on Spurs yet. So anything you're seeing, I can't confirm or deny if it's true. It is a Monday, Friday turnaround, right? So if there are changes, it's not completely impossible. This is why it's annoying. Spurs play once a week. They're not in the cup. Why do they need to put them on Monday and then Friday? I'll tell you why. Because they want to put them on they want to put another game on the telly. But it could have been someone else. I understand I'm happy, games on the telly. Great, I can watch it tonight. But it didn't need to be them, did it? Anyone else not owning Saka? Me. But I'm hoping over the next two. Am I crazy? If you look over the next two, do you still think that Saka, Gordon is better than Matoma, Diaby? Over the next two, given that next week Newcastle play Arsenal, was Aston Villa play Forest and Brighton play Everton. Maddison out for Bowen or Maddison and Porro out for Saka and Maguire? Saka. What do you think about -8 for Trippier and Alvarez out for Cash and Watkins with Watkins captain? For a -8, I don't think I would. Don't think it's worth a -8. No. Madders and Neto to Saka and Palmer, or Son and Neto to Saka and Mitoma. Keeping Son. Over the next two, does Saka outscore Son? It's probably quite close. It's not much in it. What did you say? What were you saying? It's just over the next two. Yeah, Saka is too good. Total left field gone for Neto and Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz, he's on set pieces. He's on penalties. He scored from open play the other day. I just don't expect it to return that much, to continue for that long. But it is possible that it keeps doing for their fixtures that they've got. Bournemouth versus Burnley is the only fixture with no team in Europe. They would never pick that for a Friday night. Well, I mean, no, Palace, Spurs, neither of them are in Europe either. Yeah. Do I think Ronaldo and Messi are watching? I imagine so. I imagine that's how they spend their Friday evenings for sure. Ooh, 3,000 of you in and almost 1,000 likes on the stream. Please, which button? I don't have my little stream deck with me today, unfortunately, so I have to click buttons. But do I move Maddison and Colwill to Saka and to Tsimikas? Yes. I mean, yes, Colwill to Tsimikas. I mean, that only frees up by 0.1, doesn't it? But if you need that 0.1 to do it, then yes, I probably would. Would I do Almiron to Mitoma? Yes, because again, the fixture next week is much better. Which three of Tsimikas, Cash, Udogie, and Porro? I'd probably bench Udogie, just based off the doubt, and we might not even get news. And even if we get news, I would do the same, because it would probably be Cash versus Udogie versus Porro anyway, and then yeah, you're playing the one with your more attacking threat there. So how long have we got? 45 minutes. There's nothing on Spurs yet. Nothing, not even a travelling squad. We're going -4, Udogie, Neto, Maddison to Tsimikas, Palmer, Douglas Luiz. I'd go Palmer over Douglas Luiz, and yes, I probably would do that for a hit. Should we do Diaby to Mitoma? Not sure Diaby starts. I think Diaby starts. I would be very surprised if Diaby doesn't start this weekend. He literally Watkins did start, but Mitoma and Gordon or Bowen and Palmer. Mitoma and Gordon or Bowen and Palmer. Probably Mitoma, Gordon. I just don't love the Palmer pick with the fixtures that Chelsea have got. Like, it's fine. It's a good pick for the prize, but it's not a good pick compared to some of the other options we've got. Can I rank captaincy in order? There is a captaincy ranking that comes around in the top right. So just bear with me a minute and it's on like a cycle and it will keep turning. I like these things. It hopefully helps answer some questions. But I wonder if I should change it from top players to buy to top 5 defenders, top 5 midfielders, top 5 forwards, just because top players to buy, I don't think that, like, it's not squad specific. Shall I remove Burn and keep in Hwang Hee-chan? Keep Burn. I'll probably play Hwang Hee-chan. Sorry, one sec. Just someone's tagged me in some... Okay, so... Sorry, I'm a new member. No worries. Welcome to the channel. So... Udogie is with the squad. Whether he starts, we don't know. Oh, hang on. I've been baited. Oh, God. It's not even the bus. That's from when they were on tour. Back to where we were. Anyway, questions. Diaby or Mitoma? Mitoma. That was pre-season tour. Pick is old. Yep, brilliant. Trippier and Adingra or Bowen and Gahey? Probably Trippier and Adingra. Diaby not looking right the last couple of weeks. Yeah, but I still think he plays this game. It's a great game to try and boost him back. Jordan, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining as a member. Yeah, I got baited, all right? It's happened. It's not been a good stream for me. I did something cringe early on, which is now a meme, and then I've been baited by early team news, and it's still 45 minutes from the deadline, so God knows what's going to go wrong in the next 45 minutes. Who to leave out? Maddison, Mitoma or Alvarez? I mean, probably Alvarez. It is the hardest fixture that they have. I love early team news. I'm so like, oh, early team news. Let me see what it says. Let me see what it says. I just want it to be right, whatever it says. But Gleb, welcome. We're all like that, though. I live for... Well, maybe you're not. I speak for myself, but I just love the early team news. Is Udogie in? I don't know. There is no picture at all of Udogie getting off the bus. Does not exist. Alvarez or Maddison? Maddison. Maddison and Bruno to Saka and Mitoma. Yes. Sell Bruno. Use any excuse to sell your United assets. Apart from Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. João Pedro an option. I want to see who starts this weekend, because if he starts João Pedro again after playing in Europe and still benches Ferguson hasn't been very good recently for them, but João Pedro has been pretty hit and mix as well. So I wouldn't want to buy João Pedro this week. Udogie didn't get off the bus. Well, he may have done, but we don't know whether he got off the bus. It is a fake picture. Almiron and Alvarez to Son and Semenyo. Probably not this week. I mean, I don't know who the last player is you're starting, but I doubt that's a good transfer. I doubt it. Udogi to Lascelles. Maddison to Saka. Move Burn to Tsimikas next week. Udogi to Lascelles. Maddison to Saka. Yeah. Yeah, they work. Right. I actually need to think about what I'm going to do with my team. I am, of course, going to wait for Spurs news before I do anything, because if we get... Like, if we hear Son's benched or something, then I'll have to reevaluate what I'm going to do. But, yeah. So, Jordan, you found it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Would I keep Alvarez or sell for Archer and do Anderson with Matoma? I probably would not do that. I don't think that's worth 2 transfers. Almiron on Alvarez or... No, I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't do Almiron and Alvarez out for Son this week either. I don't think it's worth 2 frees. So. My transfers this week. Where are we? Maddison out. Udogi out. Tsimikas in. I just really want Saka, but I don't want to lose. Diaby. Why not do Udogi for Tsimikas as well? I am planning on. Udogi to Tsimikas, Maddison to Matoma is the plan. At the moment. But can you explain through the process for ordering captaincy you have? Salah is on penalties. So you definitely have an extra route to points there. And we've seen in recent weeks it's worth considering these things. Saka versus Watkins is so close. And between Salah is so close as well. Midfielders get an extra point for a goal and an extra point for a clean sheet as well. So for me, straight away, we do see that I would put Salah first. You can create a narrative around whichever captaincy you want this week out of the top 3. Ivan, thank you very much for the super chat. Haaland to Darwin, Almiron to Saka, Udogi to Gabriel Tsimikas. You're selling Haaland to Darwin for a hit. It's just not a transfer that I'm going to recommend. I'm sure there's someone who will recommend it to you, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be me. Yeah, I will be getting Saka. It will just be in game week 12. I could do Maddison and Bowen to Saka and Matoma, but I can get all of these players that I want. Like, I would then be buying Bowen back at 0.2 more than I bought him for, which, again, doesn't really work, and I don't have the value for that. Right, let's walk through the plans again for everyone. Let's walk through the transfer plans again for everyone. Son to Saka is not. I know. I mean, if it's the only way, no, actually, still no. So, this week would be Maddison to Matoma and Udogi to Tsimikas. As the plan. I have no Saka. Diaby to Saka or roll. If I could do Diaby to Saka for free, I probably would. But then, yeah. Then next week, we plan on doing probably one of the most exciting transfers I've ever made of Dan Burn out to Harry Maguire. Whoever thought that I would be making a transfer of Dan Burn out to Harry Maguire? Explain why you're so set on Diaby over Gordon, because based on recent form, Gordon is a no-brainer and I'm a Villa fan. Well, the next two fixtures for Villa are Luton at home, Forest away, whereas Gordon goes away to away to Wolves, who have not been bad this season, and then they go and play Arsenal. I just think over the next two, I know, what a life we're living in. The Burn to Maguire is a transfer that is a thing. I mean, I don't know it is really a thing. It might not be a thing and I'm just making it a thing, but it is a thing. This would then leave enough money in the bank in game week 12 to do Diaby out and go and buy Saka before he plays Burnley, Brentford, Wolves, Luton. And it would give me a team that looks like this. Just don't know how painful it's going to be over the next couple of weeks. I just don't know how painful it's going to be over the next couple of weeks. It seems sensible, right? Surely. Do Saka this game week. How? Like, I just don't have a way to do it. I just don't. I'm just going to wait. I just have to go Sheffield United and Newcastle without him. I mean, I could buy him for Newcastle, but kind of fits the point. I'm not captaining Haaland. Yes, it does. It makes sense. I'm going with my plan, I think. That's the plan. I just need to wait for Spurs news that, like Son and stuff. Like, if we get news on anything. The thing is, we don't have any Spurs team news yet. If it gets to the deadline and we have no news, 35 minutes. If we get to the deadline and there's no news, then I will do the transfers. If we get news that Son starts, then we do the transfers. But there is no need for me to do the transfers now when there's no price changes or anything. Like, there's literally no need for me to do the transfer now as opposed to in 20 minutes' time. There's no benefit, apart from if the site crashes. You don't see Spurs match that good. I think Palace are pretty good at home, so I agree. So I'm actually planning on selling double Spurs this week. That's the plan anyway. Son, Kulu. Thousand likes. Thank you all very much. How are we doing on the subscriber count? I will leave it to you all, but we are 250 subscribers away from our goal for this stream. I'm sure there's 250 of you watching who aren't subscribed. What I do find crazy, very quickly, is that on any video, if everyone who watches it who's not subscribed on just one video, any video, everyone who watches it who's not subscribed decides to click subscribe, and it applies to every channel, it's like more than 50% of views. I just thought it was interesting. Just joined. Any news on New Doggy? We have nothing yet. No news on Spurs at all yet. Well, nothing reliable anyway. Bowen or Matoma. Bowen if you can afford him over Matoma. Bowen, yeah. We could do Son to Saka and Maddison to Matoma with lots of cash in the bank. But then in a few weeks I'll be buying Son back, and I lose so much value on Son. I mean, I lose a lot of value on Maddison, but if I lose value on Son, I can't get back to him. Whereas if I lose value on Maddison, I in theory can get back to him from Son, if that makes sense. That makes sense. Porro and Maddison out for Saka and Tsimikas. It's very similar to the transfers I'm making. The only difference there is that the only difference there is you're selling Porro, who we do expect to start, and we do expect to be a better attacking output. But if it frees up the money, then yes, like it's all about freeing up the cash. I think Watkins is a good captain. The chat want me to captain Watkins. Every time I think about it, I'm more convinced that Watkins is a good captain. He's just not on penalties. He gets less points for goals. He gets less points for a clean sheet. So if things go badly, that's why. What's the dancing avocado for? It's for super chats, I think. I think one's a dancing avocado. I can't remember what the others are. I need that one. That's a new subscriber. Does it happen a lot? Is it too big? You know how I said something else wouldn't go wrong in the... I just imitated a dancing avocado. Let's get on with some stream. Does a doggy start? We don't know anything. If he doggy starts, am I keeping? I think I'll probably sell him anyway. I think I'll probably sell him anyway. Hang on, which one is it? Any Spurs leak? No. Hit for Maddison to Saka, you're 0.1 off. I don't know what the other... If the other transfer is a transfer you like, then yeah, fine. Just sell him then, lads. Bring in Lascelles. It's all about Tsimikas this week. Gordon to Douglas Luiz. I wouldn't do that. I like Gordon. I'm recommending Gordon quite a lot, so... I'm not doing the dancing avocado again because you'll all clip it. Best replacement for Lamptey. Best replacement for Lamptey. I mean, depends how much you've got. Taylor, Branthwaite, Maguire. All of them. My bench is... I mean, it's all right. Porro start. I mean, I have no reason to think he wouldn't, but no reason to think he wouldn't. Someone's just sent me, said they did Lamptey to Taylor as their transfer. That is exciting. Tottenham news, nothing. There was no avocado impersonations here at all. It's not Alvarez or João Pedro. I'd probably chance on João Pedro. Dancing might get me more subs. This isn't TikTok. Not, and that's my TikTok is purely FPL advice. When am I going to confirm the transfers? I mean, I'm waiting towards the deadline because I do want an update on just like Spurs team news if we get it. As I said, there's literally no reason for me to make a transfer until we get close to the deadline. Thoughts on Udogi, Madison to Tsimikas, Saka? Again, that's basically the similar transfers to what I'm going to make, except I can't afford Saka, so yes. So yes, Dan Burn or Palmer. Palmer. Always, if you're ever in doubt about transfers, always favour the attacker. The problem you don't have Arsenal attack against Sheffield United. I agree. It is the problem with my team this week. But I like my team. Neto or Pont Taylor and see where it takes me. Neto. Again, if in doubt, favour the attacker. So, is Salah a must? Is Salah a must? I wouldn't say he's a must, but I would I think he's one of the best. I think it's one of the best options for the next few weeks as well. You appreciate that I don't take myself too seriously. It's quite refreshing compared to some of the others in the community. I don't know. I don't think many people take themselves seriously. I don't know. I can't sit here in front of 4,000 people playing imaginary game and take myself too seriously. I hope anyway. We've all got to laugh and joke. Because if you don't, when your FPL team goes horrible, then you'll cry. So Porro wouldn't start for me anyway. Cash, Gabriel, and Trippier, your three defenders. Is it worth then Porro, Madison to Saka, Tsimikas? Yes. But is Tsimikas the one you want to buy then if you're not going to start him this week? Is it worth looking at a defender who benefits your team more in the weeks that you need to play him? You're feeling getting Saka as an essential, just thinking you could remove Madison and Diaby to get him. I'm reluctant to sell Diaby this week because I also like Matoma this week. And I can't, Madison, Diaby to Matoma, Saka doesn't work. So I feel like I'm getting two players that I want this week over one player that I want this week if I was to buy Saka. And it's next week as well. I think Saka is great for this week, actually. But it's next week as well. I walk into Gordon playing Arsenal, Saka playing Newcastle versus Matoma playing Everton and Diaby playing Nottingham Forest. Diaz to Ansu Fati, I would go. I still think that Matoma is better than Ansu Fati. Do I rate Pape Sarr for Tottenham? I think he's an alright player. I don't think he's massive FPL assets. 4.6, he's cheap, but you can't expect very much from him at that price. It's not an you know what I mean. It's not an imaginary game. It takes up more thought in my life than anything else, so best not be imaginary. Have I bench boosted? No. I'll save all my chips towards the end of the season. Saka or Salah. If I could only own one, I'd own Salah. I'd own Salah. What are my transfer plans this evening? So it is Madison. Oh, sorry, I haven't got the right one up. Madison. It is these. Udogi to Tsimikas, Madison to Matoma is the current plan, but I am just trying to see Spurs news or anything in the next 20 minutes. Oh, my script. Right. We don't have that long. Let's do some rapid fire questions for you all. Van de Ven to Tsimikas, yes. Is it worth getting rid of Haaland? No. Can I free hit and bench boost in the same week? No. You can't play two chips in the same week. Awesome video. What do I suggest for next week? Alvarez and Adingra or Saka and João Pedro? Saka and João Pedro. But they're different prices. But anyway, why not Bowen to Matoma? Because I want Bowen. Your views on James Ward-Prowse. I like him quite a lot as an asset. Yeah, I like him quite a lot. No, sorry, James Ward-Prowse. I don't love. I liked him, but then with Souček coming back, I don't think his positioning is as good now as it was before. Nketiah on a wild card. No, I still think Jesus will be back soon enough. Best replacements for Newcastle's Anderson. I mean, if you can get up to someone like Palmer, then him. Burn or João Pedro, probably take the chance on Pedro, but I'm not certain he's going to start. Your mids are Maddison, Son, Salah, Diaz, and Almiron. You have 2 free transfers. I mean, Diaz to Matoma and Maddison to Saka probably is what I would do. Maddison and Matoma or Son and Palmer. Yeah, I just don't think the Palmer is too much of a sacrifice. Start Darwin or Bowen. I mean, I'd probably start Bowen because at least we know he's going to start. There is a chance that Darwin doesn't. At least there's a chance we know he doesn't. How vital is Salah? Is it worth taking a hit? If it's only a -4, then yes. Sorry, I'm going to be literally count to 20. I'm getting some water, and then we'll do some quick-fire questions for you all. I had half-drunk can of Coke left over as well, so I'll have that. Zayed, thank you for the super chat. Good luck this week to you as well. Play Lascelles or Udogi. Yeah. I mean, it's similar to mine. If we don't get any news, then I would start Lascelles and I wouldn't take the risk that Udogi just comes on. I wouldn't take that risk. Do I do Udogi to Tsimikas? I would then have Cash, Gabriel, and I would do Udogi to Tsimikas for free, yes. You're holding Udogi. I think there's a reasonable chance he starts tonight. It's just the short turnaround in games that even if he was fit, it's still quite short. I wouldn't do Doggy to Tsimikas for a -4. If he's benched and we get actual confirmation, then fine, but I don't think we'll get that. No news yet. There's nothing. We have nothing yet. Saka is a must. I'm hoping that's not the case because I don't plan on buying him this week. Sell Maddison or Luis Diaz. Maddison or Luis Diaz. Probably, if I had to sell one, I'd probably sell Luis Diaz because he's an issue every week. If you want to write in your super chat, Bowen, Saka, Trippier, Watkins versus Haaland, Diaby. I mean, when you put it like that, the no Haaland team. If you're on wildcard, I understand selling Haaland. Play Anderson and bench Almiron or -4 Matoma. Why bench Almiron? I think Almiron should start. So just play Almiron. Just play Almiron. How about Trent? I don't think he's worth the money. What are my transfer plans? These. I'm just waiting closer to the deadline before I do it, but we're pretty much there anyway. The only thing is 15 minutes before the deadline, we sometimes get like the last little bit of news, so that's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting like 2 minutes, and then I'll do my moves. We're going to stay and open some packs after the stream for anyone who plays FIFA. Foden to Matoma or Bowen this game week is giving a headache. Foden to Bowen. I'd go Bowen if it doesn't block you in future. He is more expensive, of course. Play Gordon or Burn. Gordon, definitely. Always favour the attacker. And Gordon over Palmer, yeah. Gordon over Palmer. -4 Maddison to Saka. I mean, if you're going to do it in future anyway, then yes, just get it. I just get it done. Saka or Madders, Saka. You're not taking out Alvarez for Watkins. Fair enough. I probably would, but do I try and get Saka for Son? I wouldn't sell Son to get Saka. Will I do Maddison to Bowen? I already have Bowen. Would I? Yes. Yes. Why am I confident that Matoma does better than Maddison? Well, I think he does better over the next two, and I much prefer the fixture for them this week. At home to Fulham. Fulham defended so poorly the other night on Monday against Spurs. Neto or Burn. I'd probably still go the attacker. I still think Wolves' attack have only failed to score in one game so far this season. So, yeah, I need to do my transfers. Let me just have a quick look. Any news on Udogie? We've got nothing. We still have nothing on Spurs news. No Son, no Udogie or anything. They're pretty good with... you have Porro instead of Udogie, so it looks like I'm just burning the transfer. I would do, like, if you're starting, whoever you're starting out of Burn and Porro this week, I'd probably sell the other one. I would probably sell the other one. Madders to Saka now or to Matoma now. If you can do Madders to Saka now, do it, but I can't without sacrificing too much. Udogie, is he fit? We don't know. I'm really surprised we haven't had anything on Spurs, but we have 14 minutes to the deadline. We have 14 minutes to go. Am I insane for captaining Haaland this week? I mean, it is a derby and he does like goals against them. And we don't quite know who's going to be playing centre-back. I don't think I would do it. The other options are really appealing this week. So no. -4 for Tsimikas. I probably wouldn't. I don't know who you're selling. But if you're selling a Burn or a Udogie, I would chance it on them before I hit. Tsimikas won't start. I mean, he was rested on Thursday, so I do think he will. Why Bowen over Matoma? I mean, I already own Bowen, so I buy Matoma. How much money do I have if I make that transfer? It leaves me not. It leaves me 1.6. Twitter saying Udogie trained. Yeah, so I mean, I think we know Udogie's been training. Martinelli or Odegaard? Definitely Martinelli. Yeah. I mean, you have the risk of Trossard there, but I would do Martinelli. Who should I start instead of James Ward-Prowse and Maddison? Who should I transfer? I mean, if you can do Saka and Gordon, I would. I think it's quite a transfer I've recommended a fair few times. It doesn't look like we're going to get anything. There's literally nothing reliable, so I'll wait 2 minutes and then I'll do it. I'll wait 2 minutes and then I'll do it. Maddison and Neto to Bowen and Matoma. Maddison and Neto to Bowen and Matoma. If you have them, yes, I would. But again, yeah, I would do those. And Mbuemo to Saka and Edison to 3.9 for -4. Yes. I should do Mbuemo. No, I would get Saka, and you don't really want Edison either. Interested to see who he starts this weekend. I think Edison will come back in, just that he didn't play the last Premier League game. Bench Sterling or Alvarez? Probably Alvarez. Sterling at home to Brentford is decent for him. Start Burn or Colwill? Probably Burn. Brentford have been so hit and miss, though. It's hard. Start Burn or Colwill. Yeah, we've done that. Would James or Prowse to Gordon be worth a -4? No. Wouldn't do it for a hit. Matoma stats. The underlying data has been mixed, but he has played City, Liverpool, Villa in the past 3. Before that, like, it was okay. He comes and goes, like, it's pockets of really good stats, and then he'll have quiet games, and then he'll have good games. The eye test he passes quite a lot. Shah or Udogi? I'd go Shah definitely, because he has the attacking threat and you don't even run the risk. Right, let's final check of some team news, and if I don't see it, then I don't see it, and we just make our transfers. I'm still getting Saka for 12. Yes, that's the plan. Adingra or Gordon, if you can afford Gordon, definitely. Saka or Matoma. I mean, Saka if you can afford him, but I can't. So that is all the team news that I don't think we're going to get. I mean, I'm selling players in tonight's game. It was just Son, but I don't see any reason why he wouldn't play. Any early Spurs? No, nothing. And we're 9 minutes to the deadline. So Udogi to Tsimikas and Maddison to Matoma. My future plans I will cover after the end of the stream, but after the end of the deadline. But we will, for the people who are still asking questions, I will save that for after. Bench Solanke or Gordon? I'd probably play Solanke in that fixture. Right, let's get this done. Final refresh of Twitter, and then Udogi, Tsimikas, Maddison, Matoma for free. Okay, let's refresh this. Here we go. So, what percentage of people are taking a -4 this week? I don't think it's that high. I think there's a lot of transfers, but a lot of people on wildcard, and a lot of people have 2 free transfers. Will Udogi start? We don't know. Like, we have nothing on it. Tsimikas is in my starting 11. Correct. Good. Matoma there as well. You're selling Udogi. Is Tsimikas or Gab? If you don't have an Arsenal defender, they are more of a priority than Tsimikas this week. They are more of a priority than Tsimikas this week. Oh, sorry, scrolling there. I meant to scroll the chat. João Pedro or Gordon? I'd probably play Gordon. You're selling Udogi. Is Tsimikas or Gabriel? Yes, we've done that one. Gabriel still. Not worth it doing Alvarez to Matoma, right? Not for 2 transfers. Seems scary selling Maddison. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Bowen or Matoma. If you can afford Bowen and it doesn't block any future moves, then Bowen, but it may well block future moves for you, so... Udogi, we have nothing. There's no Spurs news. Souček or Longstaff. Souček. Matoma or Bowen. Again, Bowen if it doesn't block your future moves, but if it does, then Matoma is equally good. How long have we got? 5 minutes. Should I start Gahey or Archer? Probably Archer. I don't think Gahey will keep a clean sheet tonight, so I just go Archer. I mean, it's not a great pick, but Darwin or Alvarez? I mean, this week definitely Darwin with the fixtures. Have I locked in? Yes, I want to get like a big lock thing, but then yeah. Sell Burn, or Udogi. I mean, I've sold Udogi over selling Burn, but I'll probably sell the other one next week anyway. So, any moves made? Yes, 2 moves made. Bench Solanke or Alvarez. Bench Alvarez. If you're keeping Solanke for Bournemouth at home, for Burnley at home, you got to start him. No Spurs team news. Diaby or Douglas Luiz. I mean, Diaby still, I think. I mean, if I'm buying one, I'd probably buy Douglas Luiz and save the money, but. No, there's nothing wrong with Maddison. I just need the money. Do I think Udogi plays 60 minutes? I think he starts. I'm guessing he starts, but I have no information on it. I didn't answer any of your questions, but you still really enjoyed watching the stream for the first time. I apologise. I do my best. The chat is flying. Diaby or Saka, if I could choose. I mean, Saka. But I would have to do it for a hit, and I'm not sure I'd do it for a hit. And then you've got the fixtures next week as well. Start Simicast or Alvarez. My dad's just texted me to say that he is captaining Salah, but it auto-corrected. So he just said, Salad captain. Darwin or Simicast? I mean, Darwin. I think he should start. There's no reason for Darwin to be taken off early if he wasn't going to start, really. Watkins as your captain or Salah? I mean, I'm on Salah. You didn't drop Rashford for Saka. Fair enough. I would, and there's still time. Why not Watkins captain? I mean, I just prefer Salah this week. Just the penalties, the extra point for a goal, extra point for a clean sheet. Think Hayes' injury means Saka more likely to haul. I don't think it does. I don't think it correlates massively. Thank you for your super chat. You didn't leave a message, and sorry, your name is in, I think, Greek, but I don't know. You have done one move, Porro to Gabriel or Colwell to Simicast. Probably Colwell. I'd probably keep Porro if you can. Why are people selling Maddison? You're probably going to do Ward-Prowse to Matoma, but what am I missing out? No, there's no info on Maddison. It's just people are wanting to find routes to Saka now or in a few weeks. So that's what I am doing. I mean, I have 4 home fixtures in my midfield against weak teams. So fingers crossed for some points. But there's nothing on Maddison to make us want to sell him. It's more the players that we want to buy. Vice Captain Watkins or Saka. I mean, Saka is higher up in my captaincy ranking. It's so close. Please go with your gut on the captaincy of those 3 this week. It could be any of them. And there's not really nothing. It will be more luck that splits the 3. It will be more luck that splits the 3. We have less than a minute to go until the deadline. Why not start Burn? I mean, I'm definitely not benching any of my 3 defenders this week. So Souček or Ward-Prowse? I mean, Souček's better value. Start Simicast or Alvarez. Probably Simicast. Is Udogie starting? We have no Spurs news, and we have 30 seconds to go until the deadline. So by the time you see this, it's probably the deadline. So go and make sure your teams are locked in. Go and make sure your transfers are there. Your bench is there. Your captain is there. Everything is as it should be. Let me just refresh. And then, yeah, make sure everything is in place. And please make sure you go and do the same. Go and check your teams. Go and check your teams, because I think that is how we locked in this week. And the game is updating and will be available soon. No Saka this week. Got Rashford in. James will power us up. You have 2 frees. Start Neto or Burn. The deadline has passed. We are officially locked in. Those of you who are heading off, go and have a lovely weekend, have a lovely evening. Those of you who want to stick around, we'll do very quickly some transfer planning just to tell you my plans for next week. There will, of course, be a video out on Sunday, though, which will cover it all in a much more detail and have reaction to the game. So if anything changes over the weekend, then, as I said, we've got a few... yeah, that'll be that. Cool. So just before we wrap it up, this was the team this week. So I did Maddison to Matoma. Oh no, I kept him. And I did Udogie to... Who did I buy? Simicast. You guys want to see the packs? Okay. All right. I'll do them on stream. Where is Simicast? We'll do the packs on stream. Simicast and Gabriel in. And then, so next week, I mean, the plan next week is actually sell Dan Burn and buy Harry Maguire. For anyone who wasn't here earlier on, this is all part of the plan. If he starts the Manchester Derby, then game week 12... Things are looking pretty nice, but I will have the money to do Diaby all the way up to Bukayo Saka. So the plan this week is to buy Harry Maguire for Dan Burn, and then next week I will be looking to do Diaby to Bukayo Saka. So I am going without Saka for the next 2 game weeks, but yeah. Cool. So those of you who do want to stick around, we do have, I saved some of my packs this week. I thought I'd just do it on stream if anyone's interested. If not, then you don't have to stay and watch. And if you are going to go, have a lovely weekend. Thank you all so much for your support. Like and subscribe before you go. And I will see you all either next week if you only do the streams, or I will see you on Sunday for my next video. But resize the window. Oh, that's really annoying. How do I... Hang on. I got all the money as well, because I just do... Right, we've got all the packs. I don't know how many people are going to stay for this, but... Let's see. We got loads. It's a new promo. So, hang on. Let me just refresh it. This was my team for anyone wanting it locked in this week. So, it's the new, Centurions, right? Hang on. Right, we've got some rubbish ones like this. Gold Players Pack, we don't need that. Just get the rubbish ones. Ooh, Kostic. Oh, I can't even... There we go. I got Kostic. And store all in club. And what else we got? I use FPL.team. Plan FPL to do my transfer planning. That's what I use. There was another Prime Mix Players. That's rubbish as well. My face is on the screen. Sorry, we're back. I mean, I'll store all in club for now. Hang on, let me just... Let me tweet it. Right, we've got some big ones in here. Right, where are we? You can see me now. So, Jumbo Premium Gold Packs. These. I can't remember what I got these for. Lo Celso. Useless. Although he's back in Spurs training now. Hang on. Oh, Hunter. I got a bronze item. It's a gold pack. Cheapskates. Cheapskates. Premium gold players pack. This is tradable as well. Go on. Ooh. 85. 85. Send to transfer list. All the rest in the club. Right. Premium gold pack. 81. No thanks. Come on. We want one of these special cards. Anything else? No. Store all. It's untradeable anyway. Where are we? Jumbo Premium Gold Players. This is a good one. Do you guys play this, or are you just sticking around? Oh, you want to see my team? All right, we'll do that in a sec. So, just before I show you my team, I do first owner only, because I don't play very much. So I just do first owner only. I mean, I do have 800k. I'm waiting for an SBC that I want to do. But this is where I'm at the moment. I know, I did it. I did Ansu Fati. Ooh, my Nan. 87. How much is he worth? A little bit. A little bit. Right, Jumbo Red players, 2 rare gold players. This is a rubbish one. Right. Yep, you, and then... Cool. Right, we got... How many we got left? Not loads. 83 times 1. Yeah, let's do that. Botman. Nah, I always get FPL related players in my packs. Right. Blanc SBC. Yeah, it's true. I might do him. In the new Evo of Llorente. Yeah, I saw that they came out today. I could upgrade him. But I've got Bellerin, the RTTK one. And I was just hoping that I'd just upgrade. He would just get upgraded and I wouldn't need to do that. I mean, we're saying now it's impossible to pack anything, isn't it? Hang on, what have we got? Right, rare gold pack. These things are pretty hit and miss. Ooh, Bruno Fernandes. Lovely. Good fodder. Right, where are we? Jumbo Premium Gold Players. We'll do the 100k at the end. 86. 86, 86. Quick sell. Right, where are we? Jumbo Premium Gold Players. Save those packed for Team of the Year. I know I saved for like a month for Team of the Year once and I packed nothing. But here we are nonetheless. Right, 3 left. The big ones. 85 times 2, 86 times 3. This one first. It's gold. Sorry, 85 times 2 and I got... You're having a laugh. I'll quick sell and recover it when I do a... Which is better? We'll do this one first. Oh, it's nothing. We just got him. Oh, but this one's untradeable. Oh. Nightmare. They do this. Fave EA streamer. Probably like Danny Aarons or someone. Come on, right. Oh, it's another gold. More goalkeepers because I need more goalkeepers. Well, that is a waste of my time anyway. Right. Imagine someone tuning in to see FPL content just to see Harry opening packs. Yeah, true. They're probably very confused right now. But the deadline has passed. This is how my team lined up for the weekend. I am going to head off, have some dinner, watch the game. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Hopefully, green arrows. Jude Bellingham's rating 86, 87. Have a lovely. This is my team. This is my team. It's all right. It's all right. I have 800k to spend on something though. But yeah, have a lovely weekend, everyone. Hopefully, green arrows. Hopefully, Bukayo Saka stays quiet, but I don't particularly see that happening. And I will see you all again on Sunday. Thanks all.